Your job as an assault player is pretty simple, but it may be the most crucial role on the battlefield. All you need to do is get on the objective and tear through anybody in your way. You're the one who breaks stalemates, punches through fortified lines, and creates the chaos that your team needs to pour in behind you and lock down the win. But I see a lot of assault players acting as bullet sponges, more than they're acting as the tip of the spear. Luckily, this guide is going to teach you everything you need to know to stop soaking up damage and start dishing it out, turning you into a master of the assault class and an unstoppable objective clearing machine. One of the biggest hurdles as an assault player, especially a solo one, is figuring out the right positioning. It's easy to get caught out in the open as you're pushing or flanking, and with the unpredictability and chaos you'll find in each match, you'll probably end up feeling like you're an easy target. Another problem is understanding the role of the assault class. A lot of people just use this class to maximize their KD, when the assault class is really meant to set up opportunities for the rest of their team. Your real job as an assault player is to create space for your team by finding and exploiting weaknesses in those enemy lines. This means your aggression needs to be controlled and precise. Before you push, take the time to look at the minimap and pay attention to where those enemy pings are. More importantly, see where there aren't any enemy pings, as you could easily find a flank that could disrupt enemy positions. But don't rush those enemies head first. You need to remember to check your corners, clear one angle at a time, and for the love of God, stop running around without a plan. This class is built from the ground up for speed, aggression, and survival. This starts with your class signature set. Your adrenaline injector will temporarily boost sprint speed, reduce explosive and incendiary damage, while also providing brief resistance from flash or stun effects. The signature weapon on the assault class is the assault rifle, and when using ARs on the assault class, you'll gain faster draw times and sprint to fire times. Mission Focused gives you and nearby teammates faster progression when capturing objectives, which includes arming or disarming explosives. In RedSec, you will capture respawn towers quicker, and your in-combat timer is shorter, meaning your squad mates can spawn on you sooner. In Battlefield 6, you can specialize your class by using training paths. These training paths give you even more passive traits that you'll earn throughout a match, giving you the opportunity to tune these classes to your playstyle. First up is the Breacher path, which is meant for those hyper-aggressive players who love to cause chaos. This path improves your reload speed on grenade launchers and the incendiary shotgun by 15%, reducing movement speed penalties when firing while moving, and giving players one extra grenade. Your other option is the Frontliner path, which you can earn by hitting level 20. While you can still play aggressively with this path, it's a bit more focused on team support and survivability. This path gives you a 50% improvement to health regeneration and regeneration delay. Soft landing will reduce the damage you take from falling or jumping from heights. And Adrenaline Rush gives your squad mates the effects of the adrenaline injector for 2 seconds if they spawn on you or your deploy beacon. This is an amazing way to gain speed and damage resistance boosts right as you start to push. Now for the heart of your class, your loadout. The gear you choose is everything, and knowing your arsenal in and out is the best way to maximize your effectiveness as an assault player. Let's get started with your primary, and honestly, you could use whatever your heart desires, but to be as versatile as possible, you should be running assault rifles. ARs are the ultimate jack-of-all-trades weapons in Battlefield. They all dominate in close to mid-range combat, which is where you'll be doing most of your work. The best ARs to use in my opinion would be the M433, the SOR556, the NVO22AE, or the Cord. The M433 is a great all-rounder that melts enemies in close range combat while also carrying its damage to far ranges, delivering 20 damage up to the 75 meter range. The SOR556 is definitely going to give you a hard time at closer ranges because of its slow fire rate, but this AR dominates at long range with its high damage and low recoil. The NVO is also a great all-rounder with a steady fire rate and high damage at mid-range. And the Cord would honestly be the best of them all if it wasn't for the intense horizontal recoil. It does do 20 damage, but its 900 RPM fire rate saves the day by completely shredding enemies in close range combat. As for your secondary, just choose what you find the most useful. The Magnum has high damage but relatively high recoil and a slow fire rate, while pistols like the P18 and the M45A1 deliver 20 to 25 damage with a decent fire rate and low recoil. Regardless of what weapons you choose, your gadgets are the secret to winning your games. As an assault player, your gadgets are all about creating openings and keeping you alive in the heat of the moment. But before I get into all the gadgets, I want to talk about the weapon sling, or the ability to equip a second primary on the assault class. You can equip any carbine, shotgun, or DMR instead of having 2 gadgets. The downside is that you have significantly less ammo on both guns, about 3 mags in total for both primaries. For your other gadget slots, the choice really depends on your strategy. Grenade launchers are a classic for a reason. The M320HE launcher is perfect for blasting enemies out of cover, or clearing a room before you step inside. Or you could go with a thermobaric launcher, which will temporarily stun enemies while inflicting incendiary damage. This is great for catching people off guard, but you do need to be pretty accurate with this launcher, since anybody who walks into the area where you shot won't be stunned, and they'll only take a few ticks of incendiary damage. Next up is the Assault Ladder, and I personally think this is a pretty underrated gadget. This gadget is fantastic for creating unexpected flanks for your entire team. You can use it to sneak through second story windows, cross gaps in between buildings, or reach areas where enemy players will least expect you. You can also pick up the ladder after it's been placed, allowing you to constantly reposition and create new opportunities for your team. The deploy beacon is pretty self-explanatory. Once placed, you and your 3 squad mates can spawn on the beacon as they please. It's important to note that the beacon will be destroyed if the player who placed it spawns on it, but the rest of your squad mates can use it as many times as they need. Unfortunately, not all gadgets are created equal. The X95 BRE and the SS26 are almost completely useless. The X95 is a breaching launcher that drills a flash through surfaces, but it only penetrates soft surfaces like doors or other thin pieces of wood, which any explosives or concentrated gunfire can take out anyway. The SS26 incendiary shotgun is even worse. It takes at least 3 shots to kill, and the incendiary damage barely tickles enemies, making it a complete waste of a gadget slot. Your choice of throwables is just as important. The frag grenade is reliable when it comes to cleaning up kills or forcing enemies out of cover, but you shouldn't overlook more tactical options like the flash or stun grenades. The stun grenade will stop your enemies from sprinting or aiming for a short duration, and the flash grenade will blind anybody in its radius, obviously. Knowing your gear is one thing, but using it to win is another thing entirely. Just imagine this. You're playing Conquest on Iberian Offensive, and the enemy team has a death grip on C. Instead of rushing head on, you check your map and find a flanking route that puts you behind enemy lines. As you get close, you drop your deploy beacon somewhere hidden, you use your ladder to get it to the second floor of the building, and sneak in your first kill. But now, the enemy knows they're being hit from another direction. And that moment where those enemies start looking for you is the same moment the rest of your squad starts rushing in from your beacon. And with your squad causing chaos on top of C, and the rest of your team surrounding it, the enemy has been completely sandwiched in the zone. And as most enemies are distracted with you and your squad, the rest of your team clears out the zone and locks down the win. It's moments like these where you didn't just get a few kills, you orchestrated a total collapse of the enemy's position by using your tools like a pro. And here's a tip to really bring it all together. Master the movement. Jump peeking, sliding, jump shotting, and constantly changing your position so you're an absolute nightmare to track. Combine any of this movement with a boost of speed from your adrenaline injector, and you'll become a menace to any static defender. Master your movement, know your weapon strengths, and never stop pushing. That's how you dominate as an assault player. You're the engine of your team's offense, the player who turns the tide through pure aggression and smart tactical pressure. So what weapon or gadget are you excited to try first? Let me know in the comments below. If this guide helped you learn a few things about the assault class, then drop a like and subscribe to stay up to date with more tips, tricks, and breakdowns in Battlefield 6.